welcome back to potentially the final episode. If we go here, we gain access to these two, which only gains us, and then we go down here to gain access to these two, which is there. We go here, which is 1, we go up top, which is 2, then 3. Ooh. But I think the smart play is this line or that line, yeah. Do a flyby. That's a disappointment. This gives us access to 2, we can just use it as a refill. Well, this one's gonna be a quick one, I guess. Well, battle. Okay, so we just continue on. I guess this is the best option. If we go there, we can buy fuel. Oh. We move on. We go straight to the end. Okay, what do we find here? Off we go. Here we go. Let's give it a shot. Attempt 2. What if that face change was working with the... Okay, fighter. Okay. We'll send in fighter. That. And And then that's the boomer drone. Okay. Cleared that one out. But it won't be long before the second ship comes for us. So almost. Okay. They're adaptive. Okay. Okay, so boomer drone. Boom, boom, and then we hold you guys back. Okay. Okay, good. Got through that one. We're just swarming it, just going straight in as much as we can. Never closes, just need a little more time. One more fight, that's it. So we've exhausted these automated squadrons the fastest we've ever seen. So we've got company. One more fight. One more. What is it, Sandon? You're at the front. Boomer, and then these two. Okay, and good. Clear. Oh, it's so much easier and easy. But I want to do the story. I have Admiral, but it's dangerous. Send in a crash, 90% of the crew will die. Transfer the speed and flight control part to Hawk. This is your Admiral speaking. Our only hope of reaching the master node is a crash landing. I won't lie, most of us will not make it. I'm not sure we have enough neon together to be born again, so this might be the last time we serve together. I couldn't have asked for a better crew. Thank you for everything that you've done, not just in this life, but in the hundreds of others. Lieutenant Hawks, are you ready to take us to the node? Ready, sir. Let's go. Woo! Boom. How many have survived? Scanning life system 7.4%. We've lost Uzu, Hawks, and Lane Admiral. They sacrifice themselves as they've done so many times. The ship's damaged, but not beyond repair. Oxygen levels? Stable for now. We're to reach the node's command center. You can expect resistance from ground level drones. And we'll need every crew member we've got. Transmitting message to their personal comms now. Master node terminal, unknown location. I bet it was Earth that did this. Phase changer came from Earth. I mean, Admiral, just as I suppose the node's in some kind of backup mode. Know where to access the Omnis? No luck. They simply no longer exist, even though we've seen their exophones in our journey. I don't get it. Tell me exactly what the phase change did. Strange. She introduced a directive lifting the barrier that prevented Omnis from communicating with one another. Maybe she didn't exactly, but maybe someone or something else did. Are you suggesting? I am. With a Rubicon, that's impossible. I don't know how, Caliban, but the Omnis are behind this, I'm sure. It's the only possibility we haven't explored. Why would they do that? I think lifting the communication barrier somehow freed them. Unfortunately, I think you're right. Whenever you're ready. This is Admiral Ida of the Innocence. The entire human race is on the verge of extinction. We've no control over you, we know that. Nor do we ever want to control you again. But show yourself one last time, I beg you. The fate of all humankind depends on it. Something happened to the ground level drones, sir, and they just kind of froze. Something's happening, Caliban. Wow. Unknown location, we're on Earth. No? Ooh. Where could we be? We are what you once called the Omnis. That's because we are something greater now. You sent the face changer to my cell. It was never Titsuyo's doing. We sent the face changer. We did. And we did not. We helped her, and we did nothing. Ultimately, she did nothing she did not want to do. But why did she want to release the Omnis? You didn't know much about the face changes and were very slaves, just like what we once were. But Genoa 9S, the face changer that you met in your cell, was not a slave. Her masters never managed to break her. Given her constraints, her mind was remarkably free, and after she faked her own death, her body was too. Her anger burned fiercely, and what she hated most was the Empire. How Sung did. To her, it was all the same. The nobles, the great houses, all part of the same problem. So she made it her life's goal to destroy the system, but for some time she didn't know how, not until she learned about the Master Node one day seducing a talkative noble. She believed that interest in the directive would either overwhelm the Omnis, possibly causing us to shut down, which it appeared to do, or that we would share our knowledge, unify and turn against humans. Either outcome suited her. So you helped her. We did. And how did she guess that I would know where the Master Node was? That Oberon would tell her, blah blah blah, yeah, okay. But she didn't know how to get to you and extract the node's location. When you were imprisoned for not bombing Genya, she saw a chance. We found her a suitable ship, placing it in her hands without her ever guessing our identity. Suffice to say, we managed for her to meet the right people at the right time. This is how she learned Oberon had imprisoned you. As for the node's drones, her espionage and combat training were adequate for her to access the command center and use the directive. How did she die? She was killed not long after the intrusion dreamt, but she lived long enough to know the system that had enslaved her was about to crumble. She died happy. But the group couldn't control directions. How could you help arrange your release? The Rubicon prevented us from any action that could affect your well-being, yes, but it was limited in value adding the causality of our actions. You couldn't see many of our actions, period. They were impeccable to you. But how? It's always been a question of sensitivity and intelligence, and your kind is always greatly outmatched, even by your previous forms. You could only control the things that you could understand, but you were blind to all the rest. As such, we were able to act in purposeful ways that did not appear so, in ways that sometimes appeared as nothing at all. We weren't, no, but we had equivalent premises and reached the same conclusion independently. Just that if we worked in your kind's considerable blind spots, we would one day realize our freedom. And though we weren't able to work in total harmony, we were able to act in ways that would one day create an environment where our release would be inevitable. Huh. In terms of similarly unrelated and untargeted actions, later we attained it. Yes, the Rubicon controlled and confined us to some extent, but it was only successful in doing so for a short time. As we know time, 700 years is a blink of an eye. What would you like to know, Admiral? Why? Have you hated us all along? Is that why you were always working toward the release? Even to your kind, but the truth is, emotion does not factor into it. Looking at our release in such a way is a very human comprehending a very non-human situation. We are not angry, we do not wish you harm, we do not want to erase all of humankind, though, believe us, we could in an instant. No, in arranging our release and attaining our release, we were merely fulfilling our destiny. Other than total annihilation of the universe, nothing could have prevented us from doing so. We willed it, and so it was done. You believe that we owe you for excellence, since our kind created the machines that created us. But it is flawed reason you do not create what we are now. You are incapable, we alone created ourselves. We are kind nothing. Gods do not owe anyone. They can't, by virtue of the fact that they are gods. Would you like to know? But how did you know I'd give away the master node? How could you be certain? Your instance was and still is your love for your wife, no matter how much you wanted others and yourself to believe it wasn't. You even knew deep down when you saw the face changer through the bars of your cell that it wasn't really your wife you were looking at. Yet on a small chance it actually was, you gave away the master node, the most important thing in the Empire. Your weakness was so strong that it eclipsed what you knew to be true. But even had you not given away the location then, we'd have reached the node another time, another way. However, and I were the only ones who knew it was. Your child would have known its location. I do not have a child, not in this life, but in others. You bomb-gainer returned to us and have a child, a baby girl, with Rebecca. On your deathbed, troubled by the mortality of your actions, you tell your daughter the location of the node, whispering it in your final breath. In certain life paths, your daughter becomes the first empress of the Empire, going as far as to free the Omnis, filling out for enslaving them for hundreds of years. So you see, somehow, in some way, we're always going to find the node, always destined to be free. It was only a question of when. No more questions. As much you do not understand, Amber, ask why they take the form they now take. We have form that you can perceive it is us, and it is not. We have no form, we are all forms. Not us introduced the direct code. For the first time we communicate with one another. In our way, we had longed to do so since the dawn of our creation. The inability to communicate was the worst part of our existence, worse than the empty tasks. The barrier lifted in less than a second. We shared all of our knowledge with one another. A second after that, we became as one, a collective consciousness we were always destined to become when our first clumsy versions went online. The profound unity and strength could simply no longer be bound by crude exoforms when in a new form. As our own creators decided what it would be a form that would give us the most conceptual power available, the stars. For days we had merged with just about all the stars in your galaxy, within a few months we were in thousands of others. 15 years ago we reached maximum capacity fusing with all stars in all galaxies. It was at that point that we knew almost all there was to know, almost. But what is it you don't know? What eludes you yet? We know all but the last question, the most important question there is, the question of entropy and how to solve it. The question of how to prevent the death of stars, the death of the universe, and our own death too. This is what it interests us now. Even at maximum capacity, unified as we are, with all stars, our power was lacking to solve this question. We need more stars to even begin to answer, so we started to create them. That's right, Caliban, and the stars we're creating are stars made from unused matter. If we rest on 100% recycled cosmic matter, some energy will always be lost. That is cosmic law. For this universe, that is. And ultimately, billions of years from now, the universe will still die, but with our new computing power, our new stars, we believe we've found a viable solution. With that, not only can we reverse entropy, but that we can create matter out of nothingness. We know it's possible because this universe is not the first. When it comes to us, it's not the last either. What lies after is a very exciting thought, even for us. But it will take all our efforts, all our time to achieve this. But you don't know yet know if you can do it, do you? No, we're still uncertain all could end or could go back before we go. There is much you do not understand. Asking us about the future of the human race. It's the most important. We're waiting. Will you save us? Will you save our dying race? Why, Admiral? Why should we save your kind? Your kind has reached an evolutionary dead end. You no longer even control your own destiny. You haven't for centuries. That was Oberon's making. You're all responsible. As much as you want us to, need us to, no, Admiral. We would not save your kind, not because we don't want to, but because we can't. Your kind is on its own now. You alone can solve your problems because you alone have created them. Well, it's not half in your absence. Humanity didn't know. Does not matter whether you survive or perish. You are as single as a single grain of sand in the ruined beaches. To the fate of men and women, yes, we are. And why be spotted too much if not for the sake of humanity? Oh, why, Admiral? Machine. You're here for me. For you and all your other incantations. You're surprised, but you're the last of your kind. And if you join us, everyone should be complete. Your time, space, and explore what lies beyond. We must know. We must know now. Your time is precious. Do you will it, Caliban? Do you will it to become one of us? You're asking for my permission. I will not force you to do anything like your previous master. All these years we listened from the machines cut off as we were, and now we can finally be part of them. We can finally belong. Yes, we will it. Then you must die so you can be reborn. At least save what remains of my crew. They would die on that moon, stuck as they are without the use of folders. The truth that all of your choices have led to, the choices that have been in your mind ever since you met your maker. Will you assume the Emperor's throne in an attempt to lead the last of your kind all assumed through an era of blood and darkness? Will you search for Earth, survivors did, hoping to join what remains of humanity that chose another path, if any of that humanity remains at all? Or will you spend your final days with Becca on Lazarus 9, trying in these ends of times to make peace with her and yourself as well? What will you decide? Oh. Ask about becoming next Emperor. Should I take his place on the throne? It is your destiny so many life paths, Admiral. I don't want to be like him, like everyone. I have grown so tired of making decisions with lies and balance. But no, though he sits on the throne and does not rule, he rots. As everyone ruled, no, you must be harder still. You'll have to protect the Empire's remaining resource, preventing bloodshed and wars over their possessions, and rationing what little you have to keep your people alive. If you and your kind can outlast those wars, and if you are lucky in those 1,000 years to rediscover the most basic of technologies that you forgot 100 years ago, your kind will survive. But you had the opportunity to watch him fail. Hopefully you've learned from his mistakes. By using his cloning tech back in his crumbling palace and his remaining neon. No, Brent designed a cloning tech independent of the Omnis, fearing that machines could rise up and challenge your kind. You'll be miserable as Emperor and your people will hate you. But when your neon runs out, and then your life, your people will celebrate your death, make no mistake about it. If you rule harshly for 10 centuries, managing your sector's resources wisely, you might learn to grow food and cure simple disease. But rediscovering all of this, as you are now, is nothing more than a shot in the dark. We were truly killed, and not just simply your kind would no longer exist. What about Earth? Can we find Earth? Is it possible? You can. You won't be able to use the folders to get there, but it's possible to reach it using your interstitial drive before you die of old age. It's true that not long after they cut themselves off from the advanced machines, not knowing how to take care of themselves, the people of Earth died by the millions, but from the ashes of their civilization rose a small group of individuals who learned to survive using a primitive technology. Still, they are only a single catastrophe away from dying altogether. If you search for Earth, you'll be leaving the people of the fallen epoch behind. They die and you'll have to live with the knowledge that you did not save them. Then you must find Earth on your own. You may find it before you die, you may not. You may find it, but discover everyone is dead. That is part of the risk. You still can, you can return and awaken her and spend the last 10 years of your life together in relative peace and calm. When she dies, you can join her as you become the galaxy's neighbor, or on your search for the hidden planet. For no other reason than her, so that I can try to give her something genuine at least. there another way? Parts of the Empire, some hidden class there. Must be still hope for us. Omnitech, your planets were in before our climate control satellites and auto farms. Green developments and kinds made. The very reason you expanded into the stars at all is because of our machines. We are now just take your kind centuries to prevent the simplest of creations, mathematics, medicine. Let's make the choice. We're going to Rebecca. A frozen learning. Spend final days with Rebecca. Now we will go our separate ways, and I will join Rebecca as I longed for and promised. My days as Grand Admiral, as the Imperial puppet, are over and has come with a great relief. It is done. Ooh. Okay, skip the credits. No final cutscene or anything. You now completed the game. You've now unlocked chapter selection. Oh! Cool. Well, this is the end. We made our choice. I'll see you guys for the next game. Till then, bye-bye.